My name is Stephen, and when I was a boy in St. John's, Newfoundland, I was haunted by strange veiled figures that stalked the streets over the 12 days of Christmas. This holiday tradition was known as mummering, if I can get this clicker to work. Men and women would disguise themselves in cloaks and veils and travel in large parties from house to house to celebrate the holidays. But not all was Christmas cheer. Legend had it that a lone mummer traveled along the frigid shores, and when I was 9, my grandfather warned me to never let this evil spirit into our home, because to do so would be to bring death upon our entire family. Naturally, this story terrified me as a child, and ever since I was old enough to hold a camera, I wanted to transform this nightmare into a reality. The resulting project is called The Marksman.
The Marksman is a psychological thriller about a failed young hunter who turns to the dark magic of enchanted bullets in order to win over the woman he loves. However, he soon discovers that the bullets have a will of their own. The film combines the psychosis of Black Swan with the fantasy of Pan's Labyrinth, set to the hunter-gatherer backdrop of a film like Winter's Bone. So what's the story? It's the dirty 30s, and on a storm-battered North Atlantic island, 10-year-old William Pike invites death into his home when he welcomes in a lone mummer. 12 years later, the handsome, hungry-eyed William is miserable, orphaned, and longing for someone to share his bed. He's lured into a trashy midnight carnival where he confronts the sultry young Kate, a wild doe of a girl in muddy hunter's boots who's bagged a buck or two. And after a night of wild lovemaking, he awakes alone in a field with a bullet in his shoulder.
He has been shot by John Wallner, an aging hunter whose failing eyesight has brought his entire family to the brink of starvation. He invites William into his home to recover, but it's there that we discover that John is actually Kate's father, and he is totally oblivious to their steamy secrets. However, John is under the impression that William is a hunter, and William finds himself trapped within a lie about being a great marksman, as he turns out to be a terrible shot. So out of desperation, he's forced to make a classic deal with the devil, or in this case, the lone mummer. He obtains 3 magic bullets from the lone mummer that strike anything that he desires.
Now, these aren't your everyday magic bullets. With the first bullet, William takes down a majestic stag with his eyes closed. With the second bullet, he saves Kate from a savage beast by shooting it in total darkness. And the third bullet, well, the third bullet doesn't hit what he wants at all. After a stray round strikes Kate's mother in the heart, it becomes clear that these bullets may have developed a will of their own. It seems the more that William hunts after Kate's affections, the more the bullets slay all that stands between them. And when the lone mummer comes along and places a final bullet in his chamber, the film begs the question, who's really pulling the trigger?
We know what you're thinking. But no, this is not the William and Kate that we all know and love. My name is Stephen Dunn. I am the director, co-writer of The Marksman. I am the youngest person ever selected for the TIFF Talent Lab, where I won 2 awards last year at RBC's Emerging Filmmakers Competition. My films have screened from Miami to Cannes, and I recently spoke of my early success at a TED Talk event last fall.
My name is Dylan McManamy, co-writer of The Marksman, and I met Stephen at a screenwriting workshop at Ryerson University. At the age of 14, I was the youngest person to ever stage a play at the Toronto Fringe Theatre Festival, and my films have received accolades such as IATSE 873's Memorial Award and the Universal Studios Scholarship in Filmmaking.
You're probably looking at us and asking, who the hell are these kids and why would I give them Telefilm funding? But here's the deal. We've already completed a first draft of the screenplay and have secured some development funding from CBC and Newfoundland Film. We have a strong tag team of Canadian producers and are currently looking for an established executive producer to help take our project to the next level.
Now, although The Marksman may be based off traditional Newfoundland folklore, we believe it has broad universal appeal. We're going after the same sort of audiences that would see films like Black Swan. Our film is a classic fairy tale framed within a modern thriller. The demons William battles, lust, obsession, greed, are ones we all struggle with. However, his ultimate destruction will represent a type of evil like we can never understand.
As gritty, sexy, and violent as The Marksman is, it's essentially a love story with tender pauses and humorous breaths of air. We all know the light-hearted, easygoing Newfoundland culture that you see in the tourism ads, but we want to show you the dark secrets that no mainlander has ever seen before.
Thank you.
Thank you.